Well, I have to say I'm very surprised at this week's judging. I'm surprised that I'm in zone 3 again this week, because let me explain my reasoning for why I went where I went. This player on the right, he's looking more or less in a straight line, isn't he, from his body, and that matches up with where they've put it and where mine is. It was always going to be along that line as far as I was concerned, because that's where he's looking. This player down here in blue, now he's got one eye looking over this way, but this eye, which seems to be relatively ignored by most people, is looking straight up this way. So I put my cross somewhere in the middle. I drew a line up between the two lines, the furthest to the left, furthest to the right, and I put my cross there. I know it's down to perception, but I thought, well, I'm going to be pretty close. If I'm not zone 1 this week, I'm certainly going to be zone 2. So I'm very surprised at being zone 3. I mean, I got the guy in red pretty much okay. But I mean, look at this guy's right eye, or is our left. He's looking straight up. And this guy's looking over here. So it's a bit, it is a bit of a tricky one. Which direction is he actually looking in? Which is why I went in the middle. I only did a couple of crosses anyway, because I wasn't too sure about it. But let's have a look at the judging and see. If you haven't already watched it, the judging will shock you. Okay, so here's the judges' crosses. Now I was on the top of that chamber there, just by where that line is, somewhere around by there, and there's the winning average is there. Now these ones around it, yeah, okay. Not too bad, but if you look at where he's looking, we said all along, well, I said all along, and I talk a lot of shit, that it's good. He was looking in a straight line. So how anybody could put one down here is a bit surprising. That one I think is far too low as well, although it's a bit more realistic in the direction it should be. And then you've got these all the way over here. I'm just not convinced that so that's a widespread from both directions. So to me, if you look at it, then I would have said these ones here need to come out, these two here need to come out, which would leave us with 4, and I would have put the cross, the winning cross would have been about there, the end of the cursor there, which I may have just made it into zone 2 there, but I think it was a much more, would have made much more sense as where the average winning cross should be. But let me play you a bit of what Matt said.
Yeah. Okay. So the consensus by quite a bit of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to 2 is to judge at this calculated average, and I think with a pitch like that, like this, it's very important. We all have our own views, but it's where this calculated average takes place. And I think Rennie put it very well that once we start removing judges, the calculated average, unlike usually it moves a little bit. If we start removing judges because they actually are quite a long way away from this calculated average, it actually moves an awful lot. I know the players in this competition may not understand some of our choices and how we've got this bigger split, but I'd hope they'd look and we'd hopefully judge it or agree that this calculated average is a credible position to be for the reasons we've put out. So
I can see what Matt's saying there, that if we leave them all in, he's happy with where the calculated average is. So by that thing, he wants to leave them all in. So he thinks it should be in that area. However, I still disagree, because I can't see how you can legitimately leave these two on the right in. Would it have changed it that much? Yeah, it would have pushed it a bit further over to the left. I think this bottom one should have come out, and these two top right here, which would have put the calculated average much nearer to where I think it should be. Because these two, I know what he's saying about perhaps the players don't understand, but obviously the players are going to be very passionate about this because they've invested their money into it, and it only takes one decision, or one what we think is an incorrect decision, and you've lost, and somebody else has won. So of course people are going to get bitter about it. But yeah, I disagree with what he's saying there. I understand what he's saying about, well, I think the average should be there, therefore we've got to leave these others in. But I don't think that's legitimate at all. You need to take these ones that are so far out, so we get a more precise average. Sorry guys, I'm waffling a bit now. Let's have a look at this week's, because I haven't got a clue where to put this week's. I'm going to do 2 crosses because I want to be in it, but I haven't got a clue where to go. So this is this week's game. You can see on the right hand side I've just picked an assortment and I've put 1 cross in there for now. I find it difficult this week because if you look at this player here, he looks to me like he's looking, his eyes in relative to his face, he's looking straight forward. So in theory, it would be more or less a straight line up from his nose, or perhaps slightly to the right of his nose. So I would go up in this area here somewhere. But this guy over here in white, he's looking quite steep. So it's going to be up here. I don't know if I've gone anywhere near high enough. I think the way the judges will go, they look at he's looking much, much higher towards the top. I just can't figure this one out at all. I'm going to do my free one and probably one other one because I can't make head nor tail this week of where I should be putting it. I don't like it. That's what I'm saying. I don't like this one. Anyway, let me know in the comments what you think of the judging this week. I mean, I can see Matt's point of view, and he's already expecting a backlash from the players. You could tell that by his the hesitance in his voice. And I do like Matt. I think he's the best guy for the job. But I just think he's wrong this week, and some of them should have been taken out, and it would have been a more realistic area where the winning cross would have been. Anyway, that's enough of me moaning. Thanks, guys.